Good. Hey-o!
Word.
Wait, another week, another storm.
Yeah, I know. This is wild, huh?
More claims, more everything.
Just an insane amount of rain, like everywhere, too. You know, I was up in Milwaukee the last couple of days, and there's people there talking 14 inches of rain in 6 hours.
Yeah.
And then we just see
8 inches. And
you guys got pummeled on Monday night, maybe.
Yep.
I know I was up the lake this past weekend, too, and like Cary and like the southern part of like the Fox River area, 80-mile-an-hour wind, 9-10 inches of rain again.
Yeah, you know, and then you got the governor of Illinois being like, why are we raising insurance rates? Like, just go outside.
Right.
have you looked at the weather recently?
Yeah.
We had a tree fall in the office. So that was a situation. Still hanging on the power line.
Oh.
Give me a guess at what you think it costs to clean up 4 trees that fell on her office.
With the power line involved?
With the power line involved.
$25,000.
No, thank God. Woo.
I have no idea.
But it was around $6,000, right?
Yeah.
So we got a deductible of 5.
You got a good deal.
6. I mean, you just don't make the claim, right? You just eat it. But yeah, thanks, weather.
It's 80-mile-an-hour winds again. I think I saw through like Mokina, New Lenox.
Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool.
Yeah, nothing to see here. Don't pay attention to that stuff.
What do we got today?
Well, we got a guest here.
Here he is.
Patrick.
How's it going?
Tell us about yourself. You're on the hot seat.
Well, all right.
We don't ask.
Yeah.
We just let you do all the I
That's how this works, eh?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So yeah, Patrick, I work with Adam here.
Okay.
I work mainly in his financial services department. So,
all right. Well, now we'll ask you a question.
Yeah.
So State Farm doesn't just have homeowners insurance, car insurance, boat insurance. There's other services.
Yes, and that's thanks for asking that, because I think that's a big hurdle that I face a lot. Yeah, State Farm has a wide range of things. So, I mean, I'm talking about if you're investing money. There's, your disability insurances, your life insurances. I work in the Medicare space a lot for folks that don't know or are overwhelmed with that whole process, being able to help them and walk them through it. So it's a lot more than just, hey, your home and auto, although that is obviously the flagship.
Yeah, well, that's other really important parts of things. We all talk about planning and budgeting and understanding that stuff. Like, I think Medicare, and I have grandparents that struggle and battle through that stuff all of the time. Like, that seems to be a bigger and bigger situation, only multiplied by political and news rhetoric about cutting all of these programs for seniors and all that stuff. So you guys have, that is something that it sounds like you specialize in, or you dive deep in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of worry. There. You're approaching retirement. You're at a point in your life where you've saved and you think you've done kind of the right stuff, and now you're faced with, all right, healthcare, I've been told, is going to be the biggest cost in retirement. What do I pick? I've heard I get feed for this. If I pick the wrong thing, I can't switch out of it. So you have somebody that's trying to manage their retirement plan, and now they have this on their plate where it's like, wow, I might pick the wrong thing here. So yeah, I mean, sitting with those people and going over everything in general from a finance standpoint. So yes, getting their healthcare set up correctly, making sure that it's doing what they need it to do and it's going to fit their budget. But at the same time, you also have a lot of people that are workers. They've worked their whole life. They've saved their whole life. They think they got it where they should have it, but they don't know what to do with it at that point.
Yeah.
How do I make it last? Right. So, it's perfect time to really look and dig into that and say, all right, what do you need? How much do you need? And how do we get there?
I think that part of how do you make it last it's a theme of things that we've talked about here too. Like, you have, just the insurance industry in general, like from homeowners insurance, like you have a model built on homes lasting this long, weather patterns being like this, and then cost to rent, rehabilitate or to reconstruct a property have always been not necessarily fixed, but growing at a very normal pace. And then all of a sudden we have exponential growth. And I think I saw a stat when I was trying to dig up some stuff here when we're going to roast the Savannah Bananas, but healthcare costs from 1950 versus 2025, 337 times more expensive now.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then you look at that trickles down to everything. So you're not worried just about your health insurance premiums and costs, but that's a huge part of an auto premium. So when you get hurt in an accident, there's medical coverage. So when those costs go up, that's probably why most of the car insurance has gone up. It trickles down to everything. It's wild.
All right. So State Farm has a comprehensive product offering then that maybe I would guess a lot of people aren't aware of that.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And not a lot of people, well, I should say probably half the people I talk with, when I talk about something, will ask me, is that something you guys do? And I'm obviously like, yes, that's something that I can help you with. That's why I'm talking about it. But yeah, a lot of people are unaware of that.
All right. And we've talked about planning here. So having these conversations when they're that first time home buyer that just bought their house, they moved their car insurance, all of that stuff, they can reach out, connect with you here and start to build that longer term plan.
Yes. And the biggest thing there is the misconception, I think, is when I'm younger, I don't have a bulk of money, right? I'm not 25 years old sitting on $1 million. So therefore I can't talk to you, or I don't have the money to talk to you. And that's a huge mistake that a lot of people make, is no matter where you start, you got to take a step, right? Just the old adage, you take the first step to a journey, right?
Best day to plant a tree was yesterday.
That's exactly right. So when you're talking to somebody that's maybe just getting their career started, or a first time home buyer, right? Those at that moment, if you're planning in the correct way and you're taking steps towards it, even if they're smaller steps, it's 99% more likely that you're going to be able to live a life that you want to live later on, right? So anybody that starts at 25 years old with a modest amount of something that they do every year will be a millionaire if they're consistent and disciplined with it.
That's consistency, discipline, things that we go through and talk about frequently. I mean, also your cost of things when you're younger, although it might feel like it's a lot, or I don't have a lot, like life insurance, substantially cheaper because company realize like they're going to be realizing premiums for a lot longer.
Yep.
There's death tables and all that stuff. What are some other things like that? I guess we always talk about there's, the best day to plant the tree yesterday. You got to make the decision. So like there's incremental products. There's some things that you guys have like where we can build a retirement savings or supplemental retirement savings. If you have a 401k or some stuff like that, you guys have all that, all that stuff. And you're here to guide people through it.
That's exactly right.
And I think, just to comment for a second, I think that our target market is, just normal Americans, and all of them are underserved in that area, and they might think they know, or they're not sure, but like, we're just here to give advice. So it's pretty cool that we're able to go grab that old 401k and bring it here, and
right.
We got to be careful about what we talk about with securities on this, but
sure.
It's a pretty cool product we have.
I think a lot of times people don't understand, like, we've run into clients like, oh, I got like a 401k at this company I worked at like 12 years ago. And it's like, well, maybe having that under professional guidance might be a better thing, and understanding like job changes are a shit process to go through sometimes, quite honestly.
Yeah, it is.
But then like, what happens when you have job change later in life? And then it's like, well, at this point, I have a relationship with Patrick and Adam, like, let's talk about what I need to do here so I can make right decisions with this money, and then maybe also budget for the medical stuff and all of that, right?
Right. And it's about efficiency at its core, because you have somebody, let's say, that has an old 401k and it's been sitting at their old employer for 10 years. And you ask that person, how is that money invested? Let's say it's $50,000, 100, let's say 10,000, whatever it is. You don't even know how it's invested. I had, I've seen before where that money will roll over and it was invested in just a money market fund, and it sat there for 10 years when the market's doing 300% and it's gone up $8, right?
Yeah. So why does that happen? Because people are like, oh, I don't want to take, you know what?
Right.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah. It's not burning down, so I'm not going to address it. Right. And that's, I think, the biggest thing that kind of holds a lot of people back is, I put money into my 401k, or I do my whole life or whatever. And nothing bad is happening. So I'm not like losing out. So I'm not really going to pay attention to it all that much. but they're also not aggressive in doing it because, it's going to be 30 years till I see that money. Well, it's going to be you in 30 years, not somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. It's still your money in 30 years.
Yep.
You did mention a product there, and I don't want to, from a compliance standpoint, if you guys can't answer this question, it's fine. But like whole life insurance, I think it sometimes gets a bad rap because there's maybe a company out there that loves to hire college age kids that want to dump whole life on their college age friends.
Yes.
That are maybe not already maximizing 401k contributions and all of that stuff. I mean, if you're allowed to make a comment on it, like whole life's probably for people that are beyond 401k contribution level. It's not maybe for the beginner.
Yeah, we can definitely comment on that. And I would say right along those lines, yes, whole life can be a fantastic product, but it's a supplemental product to the core base of what you're doing, if that makes sense. So I'm not going to sit with a customer or a client who, makes good money and says, oh, I can afford to put $1,000 a month away into a whole life product. And at the same time, when I say, okay, are you maximizing your 401k through work? Are you maxing out your Roth or whatever IRAs? And they're like, oh, no, I don't think so. That's backwards.
So if I sit down with you, you're not going to, like, 22-year-old me is not going to get pitched on the thing that my buddy from college is trying to sell me, that product that seems really expensive and confusing.
No, yeah.
I want to bring it up because, like, that's like something that I know, like, it happened to me personally.
It happens all the time.
And I think that's an intimidating part of people sitting down and having a conversation with you, because they feel like they're going to be sold. Now, I've known you guys for a long time. We wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think that you guys had the right approach on things. But I want, like, the younger people out there that are afraid of that conversation. Like, that's a company pitching your buddy to do something goofy, not a company that actually cares and has someone that has a sustained career in this business.
And what you just said is the key. I was going to comment on that. Like, the reason they're able to get away with that is that 2% of them actually make it, and your buddy's not in the business anymore after 3 years. So there's no one to hold accountable. Like, we can't do that because we've got a business here. We're in the community. I can't go tell a college kid that's barely making it to shove $300 a month into something they shouldn't. All these tools, you can talk whole life, you could talk anything, but, like, they should be matching where you're at in your life. And if someone's trying to sell you just to maximize their commission, like, you could feel that in the conversation, and you should probably run.
No question about it. No question about it. And if you are money tight, right, and you're also not doing the things that are going towards retirement, then they shouldn't be bringing that up to begin with. If anything, it's like, hey, you need some life insurance. You've got a wife and a kid, or you've got a husband and a kid, whatever it is. You need to make sure that if you pass, hey, they're going to be able to live, right? You're on 2 incomes. Now you're on 1. What is that going to look like? But you do something like that in a term policy. And if you're mentioning whole life at all, it's, hey, at some point when you are in a position to put more money towards this, you have the ability to do that. We can talk about that at that time.
So that's the icing on the cake. That's not your foundation. And I think, unfortunately, it gets told to a lot of young salespeople and a lot of young people that maybe are generally high earners, but they're not in the peak years of earning, that it's their foundation. And you guys don't really believe that. You're not going to pitch that. So again, another reason to have conversations with good people that care and do this professionally, not someone that took that easy job out of college and, they're trying to cover the draw.
Yep.
Exactly.
The analogy that I use there is your retirement accounts and your investments are the sports car or the retirement car, right? That you want to have. Let's say Ferrari. The whole life is
car.
Right. The whole life product is a toolbox that allows you to make the Ferrari run.
It's a minivan
at its highest level.
But it's a nice minivan. It's one of those Kias.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
With, like, the drop down TVs and stuff.
Yeah, they got the 42 inch in there now, comes out of the
But it's
ceiling.
safe. There's airbags and stuff.
Airbags are good. They'll total the car. All right, so talk about those products. Let's talk, like, we were joking before Adam had walked in here and you were here, like, listening. So Savannah Bananas were in town. over the weekend. They played at
Yes.
Rate Field. First time Rate Field's been sold out
And
probably since like
decade.
2006 or so, maybe 2 decades. Amazing that a team full of goofballs will bring, draw more than the White Sox, but is what it is. Savannah Bananas, they have a very regimented ticket lottery system that they want to try to protect the fans.
Yes.
But what happens when you don't get the ticket lottery, you don't get the second ticket lottery, and you got 2 kids, so you're a family of, in this case, maybe a family of 4. You're a family of 4, I'm a family of 4, I know how it goes.
Yep.
Kids really want to go, so you got to go to stuff like these online ticket places.
What were they going for?
So the average ticket price for the Saturday game after fees was $450
Per ticket?
per ticket.
Goodness.
And what was the ticket lottery? What's base value or whatever?
$65.
So someone else is who's making that rip?
Well, so the person that owns the ticket's making the rip, but then these other companies, they charge. So say you had the $60 ticket, right?
Yeah.
You pump it up on the website. They're going to charge you a fee to list it and to sell it, and they're going to charge me a fee to buy it. So they're double dipping.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is you start to put these things, you shop across all these websites and all of this stuff, and this place might have it cheaper here, but then they have a crazier service charge.
Yeah.
So ends up Ticket IQ ran something, and Chicago Block Club also did it. The average secondary market ticket was $450. All right.
Oh my God.
So now let's take that
That's
450,
absurd.
right? So we're gonna go that 450, and you got a family of 4, right? So you need four of those tickets,
Oh, God.
and then you got to buy the Bananas hat. You got it
You got to get merch, or
or
you weren't there.
exactly. The Instagram post wasn't enough. I'm sure parking probably $40 or $50.
Gotta
Yeah.
be.
And there's not a lot. I mean,
If you went easy in, easy out.
it could have
Yeah.
cost you a lot more parking around there too, because maybe your car got popped, but or parking tickets, or you got the boot. There's a million different things that go on. Food and beverage for the day, let's call it $300.
Great food at Rate Field, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Some of the best.
yeah.
food.
Levy's restaurant, they do it up
They've
right.
got walking tacos. They got a Greek place. They've got everything.
Yeah, and then you
Kudos to
figure
them.
you're probably in this case, they have a big rally and stuff. So you're probably getting breakfast at whatever Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's, something like that.
Yeah,
Eating vendor food down there, maybe a dinner. So
that's
300 might be consive.
Yeah,
if
it's
you're
probably
not.
$100 your head.
And,
So,
yeah, I mean, depends on how many Coors Lights and
Right.
and vodka tonics you're drinking, or some stuff like that. But let's just call it your all-in day spends $2,350, and you don't have $2,350 in the bank.
but your kid wants to go.
Your kids are just nagging on you.
Their friends are going.
And there might be, from another conversation that led into this one, maybe they're going to threaten you with the rolling up the Roblox and Fortnite charges on you. So what do? You want to keep your kids happy, right? You love the Savannah Bananas because Instagram and Facebook, and they've just been pumping the videos in front of you, and it looks like a super great time. They have awesome reviews. Well, now you got to spend $2,350 on a credit card, and most credit cards right now probably running a 24.99% APR.
Okay.
So you have 2 choices at when that happens, right? So you've made the decision. You're going, you've spent the money, right? Well, what happens next month when that bill comes? Your monthly payment, your minimum monthly is probably about $47 on that.
That's just to knock out the interest.
That's not even the whole interest.
Yeah.
Because if you do this, if you were to pay $47 in this equation, that payoff ends up out somewhere between 20 and 30 years. and like 25 to $30,000 in interest if you just make that minimum payment. So let's say, hey, I want to knock this thing off in 18 months. It's still $158 a month.
That's insane.
Right. So you're still eating 500 and change in interest on that. Right. So what does $158 a month get you? Well, I'll tell you what it gets you. It gets you $25,000 more if you're going from $400 to $425 at a 6 3/4% 30-year fixed mortgage. But what else can $158 a month get you?
Comcast, probably.
Yeah, Comcast.
Yeah.
Or does it allow you to have that freedom of capital to talk to Patrick and maybe deploy that into something that's going to have real ROI, not just my kids were happy for 4 days and next year the Facebook memories will pop up and it was so fun. And you're still paying $158 a month because that allows you to knock it out in 18 months.
If you think about it, let's say $158 a month for 18 months. Let's say you weren't paying that towards absurd credit card fees, and you put that in something that was making you on average 10%, right? Let's say 25 years down the line when you would have actually paid it off by the minimum, if you're paying minimum, I would say that's at least between $30,000 and $40,000. That's without ever putting money into it after the 18 months. So you're really talking about is opportunity cost. Unfortunately, a lot of people will look at something and it's more of a, can I survive this kind of thought process? Like, is this going to kill me if I go spend this money? Well, I can afford $158 a month, but there's no financial idea or reasoning behind it. Whereas if you're looking at true opportunity cost, which is what it is, I mean, the difference between $400,000 and a mortgage and $425,000, that's a big deal when I'm going to make an offer on a house I really want, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to get that, I can't just be like, give me another quarter.
Yeah. You know, it doesn't, that's like, or you have your budget so regimented, and then you look at it and go, well, that 150, like that's going to tip me over, not even just from a qualifying standpoint, but from a peace of mind standpoint. Like,
of course.
There's this, that I think we live in this society full of instant gratitude and what, the Facebook fun family moments, but what cost does that come at? And you just like, so it could be that for me in a conversation with the mortgage guy, it could be the house. For you guys, like, you're making a decision today that could cost you opportunity cost between $30,000 and $50,000 25 years from now when you need to retire, or what fund the kids got. Like, there's a lot of things that go into that, and we see it all the time in my world, like people with these credit cards. So then, like, you did all that, right? Well, what happens next year when your kids want to go on a Disney vacation?
Right.
And
that's going to be a little more expensive
than
$2,200,
but it's a lot. It lasts a lot longer.
Yeah. Like there's just a lot of stuff that goes in on that, and you just see people make these decisions, and then they compound, and now you end up completely buried, and you're looking up the backside of things, the backside of the mountain, not the top looking down.
Yeah.
Without question.
And those are probably the toughest conversations you have to have.
They are very tough, because you also have to factor in, the experience. And I've never been one to say, oh, you shouldn't do this because this and this, but you have to do it in the right order, right? So I can't spend this kind of money and be this far in debt if I haven't even paid my, if I don't even have a simple term life insurance policy to protect my family. I don't have any savings. I don't have a car that works correctly, but I can afford, blowing this money on. So I get the experience is you want the experience, but you should be looking at those experiences after I've set up an infrastructure of stuff I'm already used to paying for.
True that.
That's, we got the difference now between like 20 years ago. Like, we have high resolution cameras. So like you could probably almost get a virtual experience. Yeah. Like, versus sitting up in the top left corner, like that top left corner over there, going, oh man, like this is this kind of sucks. But yeah, those decisions, opportunity cost, all things that have impact throughout 25, 30 years down the road.
You could have a picnic in Grant Park and watch it on your phone for like $15.
Exactly.
And then
exactly.
And then you're ahead 25 grand over 10 years. So awesome. Good shit. What can we talk sports? Are the Cubs going to pull it off, or are the Brewers going to like just break their hearts again?
I think the Brewers are I think that's done.
So I don't know if you know this. The last 3 years, the Brewers have actually drafted a kid out of Lake Central each year.
Really?
Get out of here.
This is like a baseball mecca down here.
So Lake Central and then Ileana Christian just down the road, like two of the best baseball programs in the state right now.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Brew Crew, like, they're obviously, I was in Milwaukee beginning part of the week here. Like, everyone loves them, but maybe they're peaking a little too early. I don't know.
They always seem to be right around this time peaking, and then they get in the playoffs, the hottest team, and then
bounce in the first round.
Cubs won last night, though, right? I know they were winning.
Yeah,
I didn't finish it.
They won last night, but that was the first game Milwaukee's. I think they've lost
back 4.
3 games, and no, I think it's more than that.
Well, I think we're back 4 from that.
I don't even hear. Listen. The White Sox. We're.
You guys are in a race too, right?
Yeah, to have the Savannah Bananas take over our field and cost everyone, all the Chicagoans, all their retirement funds.
You know what? I will say the White Sox have gotten extremely lucky in the sense that last year they set the all-time record for being the worst team in the history of baseball. It's like 150 years or something.
Yeah.
And the next year, the Rockies are going to break that record.
I don't know. They're going on a win streak. They beat the Dodgers. They swept the Dodgers.
Get out of here.
Yeah. I don't think the record's going to fall.
I mean, that's a absolutely putrid record to hold.
Oh,
So
it is. And then, but like, let's talk about like longer term financial things. So you have like all of a sudden the Sox are selling out those games because everyone wants to watch them break the record because, you know, people got hurt feelings and the world's skewed. And then like,
I was there.
And then Reinsdorf's like, please don't come to the games because I need to keep my attendance number down. So my lease for the stadium's only $1 this year. Like,
yeah.
Just the, you know, all these conflicting things here. But at the end of it, like we're talking about all these sports, entertainment costs have exploded beyond belief.
Mm-hmm.
Football games, we have Bear seasons starting up here too. Like
You're
really
$1,000.
you need to like don't get sucked into some of these traps, right? Like that again, we just showed you how one Savannah Bananas game cost you 25, 30 grand of opportunity costs. What happens if you want to go see 8 home games for the Bears?
Oh no. That's
Versus
100.
what I'm-
Yeah.
Like that, like
Yeah.
like making these decisions right. But I think Patrick hit the nail on the head. Like he's not going to tell you don't have fun. I know,
No.
you and I've had plenty of like, no one will ever tell you to not have fun, but let's make sure you have the right foundation first.
Right.
Patrick, how do people get
Well
in touch
said.
with you?
They can call me. They can call the office. They can come in, email. I'm happy to give all that info. But yeah, if they're familiar with Adam Hage Insurance in St. John or in Crete, they can call either one of those offices, and I'm always available. If I'm with somebody, I'll get right back to them. We can set up a time to talk, and that doesn't come with an agenda. I think that's important. Like if you have general questions about finance, or you have questions about this, or what happens if I get sick and can't work, I will show you what you need to be shown, and then try and fit it into how it fits your lifestyle.
Bingo.
That's it, right? Let's so they get you. I mean, obviously, they go to Adam at adamismyagent.com. They find your info there too.
Yeah.
Call Adam, message him, you message me. We'll share Patrick's contact info. We appreciate you hopping on. I figured this was a great lineup here with the Savannah Bananas and all those ticket prices and just showing the opportunity cost and what $158 a month could actually do for you longer term than the joy of sweating it off on the south side on a Saturday. Watching the gimmick team, not the real team.
No, it was a pleasure to be here. I appreciate it.
All right. Anything else?
No. Game on.
Let's try to keep a safe weather Wednesday out there. And
no more storms.
Yeah, please. Cross our fingers. No more storms. We out.
I'm done. Cut the show.